I'm gonna go ahead and start off with our poll. So we got 11 people answered. Five of them, 45% are this is the first Q4. Um, there's two that are 18. Two people that this is their second one. Three this is their third. And one person this is their fourth, and somebody is just not keeping track anymore. So that's awesome. So John Paul, why don't you go ahead and
Cool.
start us off?
Okay. Well, hey, first I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Got a nice little group here. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself and where you might know me from. My name is John Paul Jones. I've been selling on Amazon for 3 years now. This will be my fourth Q4 to go through. So even though I didn't get to answer the poll, I would have boosted up the 4 number. I actually started out doing private label when I got on Amazon. That was my first product on Amazon for probably 6 months. I only had one product out there, which was kind of nice because when you get a sale, you know what it was for. But it kind of grew from there though, and I started in March of 2015, and that coming Q4, we kind of found out about retail arbitrage. We really didn't know it existed when we started, and found that you could make some pretty good money out of that especially at Christmas time. And I'm also a software developer, so I could see some ways to automate some of that process to make that a little easier. So I built some software to help with that, and it helped me build a team for that. And we'll talk just a little bit about that here in a minute. That's not really what this webinar is for, but just so you can know where I'm at, I'll talk about that a little bit. But anyway, I've also been a software developer for over 20 years. I'm kind of specialize in automating things. So, if you've got
automation master,
there you go. If you got a manual, process that you're doing on the computer, or something that can be tied in with a computer system, I can usually automate it somehow. So, anyway. Where a lot of y'all probably came into this from and know something about me from is from I built the AMZ suggestion expander Chrome extension, which is a little Chrome extension that when you do a search on Amazon, you put your search in and it will expand out the amount of keywords that you see when you're doing that search, which is great for keyword research if you're doing private label or really anything really. But if you're looking for keywords. But I also built a RA or retail arbitrage source called Scan Genie that I built with teams in mind so that you can scale out retail arbitrage. So my internet connection is unstable, so hopefully I'm not messing up.
You're okay. You're all right. I'm going to post about it.
Okay, cool. I built it so that I could try to automate the RA process, and because truthfully, I don't really like to go out and shop. I'll do it every now and then, but I've got a team of people that go out and shop for me now, and they use my app, and it automates the buying decisions for them. So. Anyway, yeah, again, that's not really what we're here to talk about, but it is how me and Paul got hooked up. Paul was one of the original beta testers for my app. He took it and ran with it and created a pretty nice sized team using Scan Genie. And Paul, you want to say a little about yourself and where you're at now?
Yeah, so that is how John Paul and I met. And if I ever had a question, I would just be like, "Hey, John Paul, can we automate this? How can we?" Whether it was on repricing or something like that. The Scan Genie app is definitely how we met. But I've been selling on Amazon for since about 2015, and this is my fourth Q4. Really I say it's my fourth, it's my third, like going after it hard. And each year our sales just keep going up and up and up. So really tonight, well, a little bit more about myself. I'm also, I'm an Amazon coach. If y'all went to CES, you saw me there. Got to present on wholesale. So I actually do wholesale and retail arbitrage in my business model, and I still operate a sourcing team. It's been scaled back a little bit from what I expanded to, but still have everything automated, as far as the sourcing and the shipping and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be talking a little bit about how do you know when to build a sourcing team and how all that works out. So let's go ahead. I really, tonight's the whole purpose of it is to talk about Q4 and some tips and tricks. I say tips and tricks. It's just, things that really John Paul and I have learned because of making a lot of mistakes. So we're going to share those mistakes, or, really like kind of things we stumbled upon and things, little hacks that we found. And so anyways, I'll just go ahead and start. Really, one of the best things that happened last year, one of the things that we like to do is find hidden listings. So hidden listings, what I mean by that is when you scan something whether that be Seller Central or your scanning app of choice, and nothing pops up. Well, what we typically do is we'll either do an image capture with Seller Central, or we will do a title search in Seller Central as well. And by doing that title search or the image capture, we can often find the item on Amazon. And the reason why it's not found when you scan with the barcode is because somebody that made the listing created it with a different UPC code. So, or the company changed the UPC code. That can happen as well. So an example of this is last year I was at Walmart during Black Friday and I was scanning some Tupperware. So Walmart likes to run specials on Black Friday, not just on, and y'all probably know this, it's not just toys, right? It's everything, pajamas, video games, and this was Tupperware. And so there was a blue version and a red version of the Tupperware. When I scanned the blue one, nothing came up, but then I scanned the red one and then a listing came up. So what I did is I went to Amazon.com and looked at the listing and saw that there was, yes, Rubbermaid. Good job, Connie. You probably bought that too. So if you noticed, if you bought the blue one, you did really, really well, because not many people bought the blue one, because you had to find that listing. You had to go to the one with the red listing, scan it, and then go to Amazon.com and see if there's other variations available. And so we do that all the time with anything with variations, whether that be clothing sizes or color variations or anything like that. So John Paul, you want to share any of your tips there?
Well, I was just thinking about last year, and we were in a little group together last year, and I don't remember if you were the one that brought up the Rubbermaid tubs or not, but we were in a Walmart at the time, and we went and found those tubs, and we're grabbing some of those, and you were talking about you were hauling off with a pallet full of them or something like
that. Yeah, we ended up getting 2 pallets of Tupperware.
Yeah, that was cool. The store we were in, I think I don't even think they had a full pallet left of them at the time, but they were. And that store was a mess, and actually at that time.
What was really actually funny about the store that I specifically went to, and this is just a side note, is there was a manager next to me when I just happened to be scanning those, and I said, "Excuse me, I really want to get all of these. Can you help me with that?" She was like, "You want all of that Tupperware?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And she was like, "Oh, we will get you this, like, no problem." So they actually like accommodated me, brought workers up, like jacked the pallets up and brought them and loaded me in the back of the store. Like they wrote down the numbers, checked me out, and then I got to drive my trailer around the back. So if you end up with a lot of bulk stuff, talk to a manager and say, "Hey, look, I'm buying, 40 carts of stuff or whatever, pallets of stuff," and they'll help you load up. I had like 10 Walmart employees assisting me. going out the store. But
yeah, if you're buying a lot of stuff, and you don't even have to be buying a huge amount of stuff, and they'll be very happy to see you.
very helpful. Yes,
in most cases.
absolutely.
Um,
What's another thing that you want to share, John?
well, I mean, one thing that I learned from a few Q4s ago was to some people will talk about buying things and holding them for waiting for the price to go up right before Christmas at those last buying moments. And while that can probably work sometimes, I think I've determined that it's, at least for us, it's better to just if you find something that's selling well right now, if it's mid-November and it's selling at a good price, let that thing sell. Let it go. Get get that money now and not wait for it to possibly go up later, because we've got burnt on that before. So
absolutely,
that would be my biggest money tip. But
yeah, getting in, getting out, that's definitely our main thing. And even like right now, if you've been to a Walmart recently, you'll notice that there's already pumpkin spice out, Halloween stuff out. You can be technically doing quote unquote Q4 type stuff now, by really, really capitalizing on Halloween. And again, doing that whole get in, get out, especially on things that, that are competitive. And when I see a bunch of sellers on a listing, I don't get necessarily scared away, as long as that price is stable and I can make the money that I want at that given time. So if you've done one Q4, you've experienced the price drops. But again, if you get in early and you don't do the hold and wait game to try to eke out another 30% ROI or something like that, then you can definitely rotate your dollars much, much quicker. Go ahead.
Well, another thing I was going to say about your Rubbermaid story, I remember this also. I just thought about this from last year, but you were telling us that those things were good, and we were looking around for them, and I found, I guess was it the red one that would actually scan?
The red one would scan.
Yeah. So I scanned the red one, and it said that we were restricted. I think it was restricted for the whole Rubbermaid brand, I guess, at the time. So I went into Seller Central on my phone and requested approval, and I was immediately approved. So, I mean, probably the big tip from that would be, if you find something that's restricted, check to see if you can get it, because it's quite possible that you can get automatically approved for those things, whether it's at a brand level or an individual ASIN level. Yeah. And that'll be a hump that you go over that a lot of other people won't. They'll see the restricted and just move on. So that'll lower the amount of sellers that are on that item then.
Yeah, and you can, if this is your first fourth quarter and you think you are restricted on a lot of things, you can go and try to start getting ungated in certain brands or certain toys. So, for instance, one website that I recommend a lot is called Entertainment Earth. So if you're restricted against, let's say, Barbie or Crayola or Power Rangers or whatever, you can send those in and get, send those invoices in and get ungated. So just look at the requirements whenever you're out. Amazon will say, send us 3 invoices from a distributor or manufacturer or something like that. If you do not get the auto approval. So always look. And that's one thing that I do like. This isn't, all about Scan Genie, but one thing I do like about Scan Genie is that I can quickly check my restrictions. And if I am restricted, I can quickly get approved, versus like in the Seller Central app, all it tells you is that you're restricted. So if you want to get ungated, you have to open up the browser, copy paste the ASIN or the title, and then go into, catalog, add a product and all that stuff. So versus in Scan Genie, it just like takes you straight to it and it's quick and easy. One other thing, if you have not outsourced your prepping or shipping yet, I highly recommend considering doing that. Even if it's, it can be something as simple as, having somebody take a list of product that that you just know is just moving really fast, and you want every single unit that's out there because there's limited supply. And you can just give somebody a list, and they can just be a runner and go to all the Targets or Walmarts or Kohl's or whatever you have around you. And then, building a team of shoppers, people that are actually going out scanning, that's really what Scan Genie was built for, was to be able to train a team quickly. And so, the pay structure is the question that I get all the time. How do you pay your shoppers that go out? And so there's two methods that I've done. And one of them is paying 10% of what they spend. So if they go out and they spend $1,000, they just made $100, or a minimum of $10 an hour, whichever is greater. And then the other method is paying a profit share percentage. And that sounds complicated because it involves tracking what they sell and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's really not. We use Inventory Lab to track all those things. And so we pay 25% of the profit, but they don't get that profit until it's sold on the back end. So, that's how we pay our shoppers. And then the prep team, they just get an hourly wage. But for the shoppers, another question that we get a lot is, where do you find shoppers? And I have never gone outside of friends in church, and and once people kind of find out about it, and you hire a shopper and they love it, they kind of tell all of their friends, like, oh, you should come shop for so and so. As long as you have the funds to be spent, that you tend to not run out of shoppers, and people running out scanning. So, anything you want to add to that?
No, but see, Susan asked if you repeat the name of the ungating software.
That's not a software. Yeah, that's a website. Okay. I'll type the website in here. You're
just talking about going to Seller Central and requesting, right? Or what were you talking about?
Susan, so I just typed in Entertainment Earth. That might have been what you're referring to. But with Scan Genie, that's the scanning app that we use while we're in stores, and we quickly try to get ungated. Auto approved would be the correct term.
Yeah. No, something else you can do, and this is something my wife sat down. She likes to just do mindless things every now and then, but she's like an administrator person, so she just likes to do that kind of thing. But anyway, she sat down with a list of gated brands and just tried to get approval for as many as she could, that would auto approve. And here's I don't think this is necessarily the list she used, but this is just one I found really quickly. And this is definitely not, the restricted brands for everybody, because they're different for different sellers and everything else.
Very different.
But it's at least something to start with, though. But something you can do is go through that list of brands, type them into like you're adding a product in Seller Central, see if it says you're restricted, and if you are, request approval. Some of them you'll get auto approved on, and some of them you won't. But at least if you do get auto approved on them, you'll already have those, behind you. So when you're outsourcing, it doesn't trip you up. So
for sure. So let's go ahead. Was there any more tips you wanted to share before we move forward?
I think that's all I have right now. Yeah.
That's all you got. All right. So the tools we use to source, just so everybody knows, we use Scan Genie, Keepa, which is built into Scan Genie. Or you can just go, if you don't have Scan Genie, you can just use Keepa in the browser, and then Amazon Seller Central. So we start with, our process is we scan the product with Scan Genie. If it doesn't come up, and we really think that it should be on Amazon, then we'll either do an image capture or type in the title. And a tip with typing in the title, less is more in Seller Central on your app. So don't type in exactly what the product is. So for instance, if it's a Rubbermaid 8-quart, Tupperware or something like that, you could just type in, Rubbermaid 8-quart, or you could type in Rubbermaid Tupperware or something like that and try to find it. Or another example would be, like, if you're trying to find a multi-pack of an item, just type in a very short description of the title plus the number 3, or 2-pack or bundle or something like that, and you'll often find, or you can even leave that out and just type in the title and see what comes up in Seller Central. So Seller Central will provide a huge host of other listings though. So that's why we bounce back and forth. And so we'll actually, one way to grab the ASIN easily out of Seller Central is if you go into the app and you click the title at the top, it'll give you the product description. At the bottom of that description, there's the ASIN, and you can copy paste that into Amazon.com or wherever you want to bring it. All right. So one of the things that we really wanted to talk to you about, did you want to say anything? Add to that?
No. Sorry, I was reading chat and typing. So
awesome. And if we have time at the end here, then we'll see if we can do some Q&A and all that kind of stuff. So one of the things that we definitely did want to talk about was a Q4 group that we're doing. And hopefully you're not going, another Q4 group, because there are tons of them out there, and they all have different things that they offer. The one that I'm actually running is part of or the same style as what used to be my FBA team, if any of you have heard of that one. So what we actually do in the group is we don't request the members to share deals. We have a team, a very experienced team of I don't want to call them shoppers. Really, they're Amazon retail arbitrage experts, and they go out and find deals, myself included, and we share those deals that we're posting. So we're actually posting 200 or more deals a month. And this is for the whole fourth quarter. So it starts in October 1, and then it runs all the way into the middle of January. Technically, the group is open now, and we're trickling deals in there. But like that 200 count starts October 1. And our team of sellers, they're scattered throughout the country, which is really neat. So I'm in the Southeast, I'm in Louisiana, and there's some in the Northeast and some in the West. And so we actually will post deals to a bunch of national stores like Walmart's and Kohl's, but then also regional stores like Ollie's or Dirt Cheap, or I think Myers is one. Like I don't have a Myers near me.
The first Q4 we were in, we bought exclusively stuff from Dirt Cheap. It was a brand new Dirt Cheap, so it wasn't
fresh.
It was fresh. You got to get some fresh stuff in there. But we bought a ton of stuff at Dirt Cheap though.
That's awesome. So we'll be doing a lot more than posting deals too. We'll be moderating, answering questions, and things like that. And so just to give you an idea of the stores that we're going to be doing, it'll be Target, Walmart, Walgreens, Toys R Us. Oh wait, not Toys R Us. That was my bad. I got to scratch that one off. So I did a webinar the other day, and somebody was asking about what's going to happen to Toys R Us, and really, so there is a lot of product out there from Toys R Us, and some of it will definitely end up on Amazon, some of it won't, but there are there's closeouts that will happen, and people will come in and bought those for pennies on the dollar. So Kohl's, Barnes & Noble, Big Lots, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, Tuesday Morning. That's just a few of them. We'll be adding from a bunch of different ones. And we'll be doing monthly webinars. The products themselves will have a minimum $5 profit with 40% return on investment. And if we see something in there that's like, man, you can buy this for like 25 cents or 50 cents on clearance, and you can make like $3 or $4, we'll share those deals. But those will just be, kind of bonus deals. And then there's an Excel list provided at the end of each month. And then what's really cool about it is it's a mobile shopping list. So you can go ahead and get on Facebook in the group, and you can actually search the group. So we hashtag every deal. So it'd be like hashtag Walmart. And if it was clearance, we would notify that. But you just type in Walmart, search Walmart in the group, and all of the deals posted for Walmart are listed right there. So you can just go, you walk into the store, you type in Walmart, and boom, here's all the deals that have just been posted. And you can sort them by how recent they were posted and all that kind of stuff. But really, the way to capitalize on the group aside from all of the knowledge and things, but there's several things really. One is, I always encourage people, in these deals groups, that sometimes there is the Tupperware thing where it's like, man, you can just like, you walk by the pallet of Tupperware and you're like, there it is. And really anybody could technically be getting that. So we, that will happen where a deal is posted and you go right to it and you buy it. But what it really does is lead you to find other things that you would have just walked right past. So for instance, if you're engaged in grocery, we'll be posting things in the grocery category. Or if you're in, clothing, everybody's engaged. So, we'll be posting clothing and, pajamas and all that kind of stuff. So it might be things that you might just be thinking Q4 toys, and it's much, much more than just toys. We really post across the board in all categories, gated and ungated. But we really try to focus on those ungated, brands and ungated categories as much as possible. See if I'm missing anything. Oh, so the next thing would be, whenever you get these leads, right? And let's say it's we post a 5T of pajamas. That would be toddler size. Well, technically there's the 4T, the 3T, and the 2T, and the 1T, and all these different sizes. And then now you're in the toddler area of clothing. You go, what else is around here that I could scan and find? So it really leads you, like one lead from this group could potentially just, really take off, the whole cost of the group, ultimately. So there's the mobile shopping list, and then, there's going to be the relationships that get formed from this. And we'll be doing a lot of communication in the group, analyzing deals and talking about sales velocities and all that kind of stuff. So anything else that you want to add to that, John Paul? I'm trying to see if I anything else.
The only thing I'll say about that is for the relationship wise of that. I think we really got started talking because weren't we in a Q4 group together?
Yeah, we were.
I think we originally met at a conference, but really didn't talk that much. And then later we were in a Q4 group together, and not just Paul, but I still talk to people that other sellers that I was in Q4 groups 3 or 4 years ago, and those relationships are worth huge amounts anyway, just on their own. So
yeah, absolutely.
Getting the deals is great, and that's what's going to fuel this and make you money this year. But those relationships are awesome too, though. So,
and if you haven't been part of a Q4 group before, even if this is your second or third one, you might have plenty of tips and things like that, as far as like where you go and what you buy and those types of things. But really, I'll give you another example. There was a toy from Walgreens. One toy made me like thousands of dollars last year, and this was just one lead. And it was just the sales velocity was so high, and there was kind of a limited quantity of to an extent, and it just went crazy. And so yes, you'll definitely make a ton of money from the deals, but like he's saying, that added value of after Q4, and you never know when you're going to meet a software developer that needs a beta tester that can give you an app to help you blow it out the water. And
if you need some beta testers to test your app, you never know when you might need that too. So that worked out well.
It does. Got the give and take.
Those relationships are great though. So
they sure are. I feel like
Connie says me.
Me. Awesome.
I'm not sure if are you trying to sing there, Connie, or what was it?
Awesome. And we didn't want this this webinar to go forever. We wanted to just give you some good tips for Q4. Oh, beta tester. She wants to be the beta tester. And so I mean that's as far as I'm trying to see if there's anything else about the group that I need to explain. You'll see a lot of the the information. If you click that link, it'll take you to a little video and some descriptions there. And I'd be
Here,
happy to
you need
answer
me
it.
to stick the link in there now? I need to. You want
Yeah,
to
did
you
you
ready
throw it in
for
there?
a
I
link?
thought you threw it in there. Sorry.
No,
I thought the link
no.
was in
Well,
there.
no, I put the tools link in there, but here is the link for the Q4 group.
And do you want to tell them? Let me answer these
Oh,
questions really quick,
okay,
Carla.
good.
Technically, all of these deals are for the U.S. So unless these stores are in Canada, but even if they are, the prices are probably going to be a lot different. So if you have, a great option would be to hire some shoppers in the U.S. and take these deals to take the products they buy to prep centers or ship them in themselves. So Nick,
Sure, you could still take advantage of it. Just not you. You might have to have somebody here to do it though.
yes, exactly. Nick, go ahead and post your question whenever you got it. While you're posting that, John Paul, why don't you go ahead and tell them if they sign up with that, what they get?
Okay. Well, if you sign up for Paul's super awesome group, I'm going to give each person that signs up a 3 months free of Scan Genie, so that you can try it out all through Q4. And if you decide you want to keep it, you can keep it after that, or you can turn it off. It's fine, however you want to do that. But you'll be able to use it for free during that period, though. So now, also, if anybody can tell me what my shirt says, I just thought about this. Anybody tell me what my shirt says before the first person that tells me what my shirt says by the end of the webinar, I'll give you 3 months free too. So,
in addition,
there you go. There you go. Yeah, and if you sign up for his group, I'll give you, and you get that, I'll give you 6 months. How about that? So,
something I have no idea what that is. I'm not even going to try.
Okay, somebody could just Google it, probably. So, anyway, there's a chance. So, okay.
All right, there it is. We'll see if I'm kind of nerd. Is that what it says?
All right. You can decipher binary, then you can. I'll definitely give you the nerd card. It'd be great.
That's so funny. Let's see. So Nick asked the question. He said on the post. So Nick is actually already in the group. And he's asking about the way that we structure the posts. And he said you write $3 amounts and then a percentage. And he said, what do those numbers mean? So on each deal that we post, it actually, we give you all the data necessary to be able to go and look at that deal on an app or whatever to see if you want to buy it. So we give you and all the deals, I should have mentioned this earlier, they're actually products that myself or the team of people that are in the group have actually bought and thrown in their carts. So these are products not that we're just like finding and not actually buying ourselves. These are things that like we all have purchased at one time or another. And the relevant deals. It's not like these deals are 3 months old or anything like that. But the dollar amounts, the information provided is the title of the product, the ASIN, and then the $3 amounts, it's the cost, and then the sale price, and then the profit, and then the ROI after that. So it would be something like it cost $5, it sold for 15, and the profit made was $5 for 100% ROI. And then there's a link to Amazon.com to go there as well. So good question there, Nick. So Melissa said she knows what it says.
What's it say, Melissa?
Melissa, Googling is not cheating in today's world. If you you better throw it up there quickly. It's
I write code all the time, and I use Google constantly. So yes, it does say dad. Good. You are the winner.
I wish this webinar allowed us to like do a fake applause in the background. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
There's your fake applause. So, and then, in the group, if y'all end up doing it, and this is kind of, it's hard for me to not be such like a Scan Genie evangelist because we use it so much. But we will be talking a lot about Scan Genie in there. We'll be talking a lot about team building, how to structure teams, Again, it's not just going to be, here's the deal, talk to you later. We're going to be doing a lot more involved, like helping you grow your Amazon business. And so, wholesale is a huge portion of my business. We'll probably talk about that towards the latter end of Q4, and talk about, post Q4 strategies and all that kind of stuff. So, again, it's going to be much, much more than just deals. That's myself, John Paul's in there, and probably 5 to 10 really, really great moderators that'll be answering lots of questions. I don't have anything else, unless you do, John Paul.
No, no. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, we want to have a little quick Q&A.
Yeah, we can leave it open for some Q&A if anybody has anything. Thank you all for attending tonight. Awesome. Melissa gets 6 months of Scan Genie.
There you go.
Way to go, Melissa.
I'll have to make up a special coupon code for you.
Yes. That's
cool though. That's awesome.
That's cool. All right, we'll give it a couple seconds or minutes for some questions, and if none roll through, then that means we let's see. Will there definitely be stores in the Northeast? Yes, as far as I know. But I mean, I wouldn't let that deter you. As far as for the Northeast, it's is there a certain store you're referring to, Susan? And yes, the $3.99 is for the whole fourth quarter. It is not for the month. So if you went and got it right now, you would jump into the group, and actually right after this, we're going to be posting some deals that I found at Walmart this morning. And so they'll be slowly trickling in from now, and then October 1 hits, and then it goes gangbusters, and you'll run out of money faster than you run out of deals. It happens every year. So good deal. Awesome. Good questions.
Cool. Susan is in.
Awesome. I like that shirt, man. I might have to. I'm not a coder, so if people ask me, I'll be like, this guy I know, he's a programmer. He told me to get the shirt. Is that on merch?
What, the shirt?
Yeah.
Well, I think I actually got this on Think Geek, but my wife bought it for me, I think, actually. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything copyrighted about zeros and ones.
That's funny.
There's probably a merch shirt out there, though. I've thought about actually making one of those. But,
Julia,
a little nicer one.
Sorry, the deals. The deals come out sporadically. It's really we've got multiple people posting deals, so there might be flushes of deals that come out, a bunch in a day, and there might be some that come out, maybe a bunch today, and then in 3 days you'll have another flush of them. So it's not like there's 10 a day, but there, if you take that 200 number, which will be going over 200 every month, but you take that 200 number, divide that by 30, and you kind of go from there. Another thing, though, to consider is that there's some sales that happen during the fourth quarter that are fairly time sensitive. Maybe like Target is running a flash sale over the weekend, or maybe something like that, where we might throw like a big flush of deals out just for that sale that you can go and take advantage of at that specific store. And Lori, we have myself and my full-time employee plus 5 others that are going to be posting deals posting deals just throughout this fourth quarter. And the spreadsheet does come at the end of the month, Julia. I don't know if I answered that. So good questions.
Anybody got anything else? Any other questions?
And if not, I hope to see you in there. Really, and I think I'll speak for John Paul on this. It's really our goal that whether you're in that group or not, that you have an awesome Q4. I mean, we just had fun hopping on here on the computer tonight and and hanging out with y'all. And so we really just hope y'all really capitalize on all of this. A limit that Julia, you ask the greatest questions, because that question does always get asked, and that one, no. So to answer, I'm going to answer this in a roundabout way. There's so many deals that even if there were 200 or 250 people in there still wouldn't be saturated, in my personal opinion. There's some deals that we're going to post that just, they're going to get saturated. It's going to happen, but it's not because it ended up in our group. It's because it was just a very easy thing to find. And it just so happened that people, maybe there was just a ton of supply in the retail stores or something like that. But we are, well, the other piece of it too is that because this is retail arbitrage versus online arbitrage, where you get a list and you can go straight to a website and buy, this you actually have to physically go to the store. So sometimes people might not get to the store, or they might not have that deal at their store or stores, or they might be restricted or whatever. So just because there might be 100 or 150 people in the group, that definitely doesn't mean that everybody's buying that exact deal. So I hope that helps. But we will cut it off if we feel it necessary to do so. We'll cap it if we feel it necessary. So what is the cutoff date to join? There technically is not a cutoff date. So if you wanted to jump in November, you technically could. The price does not change. So you can join now. You can join October 1. You can join, I wouldn't do it like in December, but you will have missed out on a tremendous amount. But yeah, so there is no cutoff date, to answer your question. And it could fill up. Again, we're monitoring that, and especially, really talking to all of our members and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, to take full advantage of it though, they probably should get in before you start posting the major deals in October, right? So
yeah, you can buy it now or you can buy it in October. It's it's the same amount. And we've been posting deals throughout the year, but really this is we're like kind of relaunching this thing into a Q4 Q4 group. So right now, like, all the Halloween stuff is out, so we're posting Halloween deals.
Yeah.
And
people are buying people are buying Christmas stuff in October too, so you don't have to wait till after Black Friday to start buying stuff. You can get stuff way before then, get it sent in and already have it sold. So
yeah, have it sold, build your capital, and reinvest it all back in your Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, I think that's it, huh?
All right, I think so.
I think we're good.
Thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us tonight, and we'll get to the recording together and send out to everybody, and I'll send out all the links to everybody as well. So hopefully we can get that out to by tomorrow sometime. So.
All righty. Well, y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.